Quite often we hear the narrative that the health and wellness industry doesn't want you to be healthy. And in a lot of instances, that is very much true. But when it comes to health insurance, it's quite the opposite. Your insurance company wants you to be insanely healthy. And I'm going to talk about this and unpack it a little bit. So let's get started. So this is a very complex topic, which I'm going to attempt to simplify and break down into a couple of different components. Now, first and foremost, insurance companies are for-profit businesses. The majority of them. There are a few nonprofit, but the majority of them are for-profit businesses. So how does this work for them? Well, you have insurance and you pay into the system. So this is how they take money in. In any for-profit business, they want to take more money in than they put out. Now, how do they put out money? Well, the first way is standard operating day-to-day, procedures and costs. Things like paying employees, office space, technology, advertising, marketing, things on that nature. These are things that they can't really do much about. They can try to keep costs down, but those are always going to be there. Now, the other way that an insurance company will lose that money that you paid in is by paying out claims that you file. Right? If you go to the hospital at the end of your medical procedures and everything, you will file a claim, and your insurance companies, most of the time, will pay them out. Now, what they are always hedging on is that you're going to pay more into the system than they're going to have to pay out on your behalf. This is how it works for them. So they don't want you to be unhealthy because then they got to pay more, right? So they want you to be very healthy, so you constantly pay into the system and they never have to pay out on your behalf. So that's the basics of how insurance companies can be profitable. Now let's look at how this works on a larger scale. So how this will work is by creating what are known as risk pools, right? What we want to do is we want to balance out our healthy people and our unhealthy people. The ones that are paying in and not having claims, and the other ones that are paying in and have a lot of claims. Now, you would like to hope that in your insurance plan, in your risk group, that you have more healthy people than unhealthy people. This will make the cost to you, the consumer, lower, right? Because there's not a high risk. It's not a high risk group if you have 75% healthy people and only 25% unhealthy people. Now, if it's the flip side on that, then your premiums are going to be much higher, right? So if you have 75% unhealthy people that are paying out, the insurance company's paying out claims all the time on, and only 25% healthy, well, they're not in the business to lose money. So now your insurance premiums are going to be much higher. Your plan is not going to be as good. So this is why it becomes an issue if you are in a small company, or if you're freelance, forget about it, because you're a risk pool of one. And if you have, health issues, then it's just a nightmare for you. Whereas if you're in a very large company, well, that pool is so much larger, you can balance things out easier, right? It's, if I have a company of 4 people, it only takes 3 unhealthy people to make that 75%. If I'm in a company of 5,000, then we're looking at what, like 30, you'd have to have 3,700 unhealthy people to get to that 75% unhealthy level. It's highly unlikely that you're going to have that much. So the larger the pool, the better it is, right? This is why large companies tend to have better insurance plans. I was in a very large company for many years, and my insurance was awesome compared to my wife, who works in the insurance industry, and her insurance was terrible, right? This is just how it works. So that becomes the big thing to take into consideration is when you're looking at insurance, Look at the pool that you're in, right? If you're in a large company, you probably have good benefits. If you're in a smaller company or freelancing and stuff, it's probably going to be a lot more expensive for you. So that's the way the insurance companies work. Now, why am I bringing all this stuff up? As some of you may know, the U.S. had its election last week. The Republican Party will be taking over in a few months, and they have historically talked about repealing and replacing the Affordable Care Act. Right? Now, a couple of nice things about the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, I can't even say it, Obamacare as it became known, was there was a couple of things that were in there that were very good, right? Not denying coverage for pre-existing conditions is a major thing. You could see how if you had a pre-existing condition and everything we talked about with risk pools and stuff like that, we don't want people with pre-existing conditions in our pool because they're a draw on resources. We're going to be paying out for them. We don't want them in there. We want the healthy people. That's all we want is healthy people. That's not reality though. So by preventing insurance companies from denying coverage for individuals with pre-existing conditions, that's a huge thing, right? So that's always something that we need to look at and make sure that is always part of our current system. Now, the other thing that was insanely unpopular was the individual mandate. The part where it said you as an individual has to have health care no matter what. You have to pay into the system. We don't care. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to pay into the system, right? I'm healthy. Why am I going to pay into something that I'm never going to use, right? That's kind of the point. We need to have that balance. We need to have those healthy people and those unhealthy people together to balance it out. So one group's not paying an astronomical amount of money and the other group is paying practically nothing. This is how it works for every insurance industry. You may have never gotten into a car accident in your life. You still pay insurance on your car, on your vehicle. It's mandated. You have to. Plain and simple. And the reason why is because that offsets the people that do get into accidents. So this is why your insurance company just really wants you to be healthy, right? Like I said, there's a lot of other aspects, other parts of the health and wellness industry that, sure, they prefer it when you're sick. They want you to be on medication for the rest of your life. They want you to be going on fad diets and buying supplements and going to gyms and that you end up not actually going to, or getting gym memberships and not using. All like these things. Somebody's always got something to sell, right? The consumerism part, the capitalistic part of the health and wellness industry, that is the part that usually tends to not care if you're healthy and would actually prefer if you were sick. However, insurance companies, they want you to be healthy because they don't want to pay out. They don't want to pay out on your behalf. So think about that whenever you're getting to arguments, or this time of year, there's a lot of open enrollments that are going on. So think about that when you're doing your insurance plans or thinking about the costs of insurance. So I hope this has been helpful to you. If you like this video, then please share it with your friends and family. Click the like button, and if you want to hear more of what I got to say, then subscribe and turn on notifications and find out when new videos are coming out. And leave me some comments down below. What are your feelings on the health insurance industry? Are you happy with your current health insurance? I don't use mine. I go see my eye doctor, my GP once a year. I don't really use it that much. I'm not a high risk. They love me. But let me know what you think about it. So until we speak again, be well, be safe, and be kind to everybody.